In loving memory of St. Augustine.
St. Augustine was a very derived and devoted man. He was born in Thegest, Algeria on November 13th, 354, and died on August 28th, 430, at the age of 75. He grew up in the pagan sect but later converted to Christianity in 386. Much of his work was inspired and influenced by his mother as well as the writings of Cicero. He was an expert in Latin as well as a professor in grammar and rhetoric. Later in life, he became a bishop of Hippo and as well as a preacher, working hand in hand with Bishop Ambrose, who was the Bishop of Milan at the time.
St. Augustine lived a wonderful life that bridged many different important legal, religious, and philosophical ideologies between his time and ours. He was considered the most influential Western philosopher, which is why his legacy will live on through us forever. St. Augustine had a strong faith, and this impacted and shaped his legal views. For example, St. Augustine believed that law and grace correlated, and that those who are under the law and who know the law are overcome by lusts of evil, because they do not have the grace of the Holy Spirit to do what is commanded by the law. The law shows us what is supposed to be, but gives no power or no knowledge for how we can follow it morally and justly. In addition, law fails to bring righteousness in men as a result of our pride and our disobedience. However, it is accomplished by us by grace from Christ. And Christ is the one who allows us to obtain the law's justice because it cannot do it on its own. St. Augustine believed that humans have free will and that we are morally responsible for our actions. Life is predestined as a result of original sin. Therefore, humans are inherently evil, as an absence of good. And God's salvation is granted to fix those whom he has already deemed to save. St. Augustine had many, many important philosophical aspects in his teachings and those that carried into legal aspects. His legacy lives on through us because we believe that he is the pre to all our posts. He is the pre-modern to our pre-medieval. His voice intrigued and our imaginations, and his thoughts for a catalyst for naming the present and understanding ourselves. His thoughts are so deep that they intrigue us and make us question who we are and what our beliefs are. His teachings are not only present in major philosophical and legal areas, but also in our personal lives. St. Augustine will be missed dearly, but we are thankful for the message that he has left with us. Thank you.
St. Augustine had many famous quotes and sayings. In loving memory, I'll be sharing his three most well-known quotes. The first quote of St. Augustine's that I will be sharing is "Love the sinner, hate the sin," which means no matter the terrible situation the person is in, always show love and the respect. Attack the problem and not the person. The second quote I will be sharing from St. Augustine's is, "You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you," which means God created all of us, and until we rest with God, we must love everything the way we love God, just like St. Augustine. Thirdly, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page. This quote goes into a deeper meaning, which traveling is outside of your comfort zone, exploring new things and meeting new people. This was one of our beloved St. Augustine's favorite quotes. These quotes all relate to his philosophy because he tries to reconcile his beliefs about free will, especially the belief that humans are morally responsible for their actions. And if it were not for the rare appearances of an accidental and undeserved grace of God, humans could not be moral. St. Augustine, rest in peace.
Augustine viewed justice as being solely based on God and the teachings of God. His approach consisted of humans understanding that we are below God and we are called to follow God's strict laws. He believed that in order to act just, we need to accept God into our lives and live out God's true teachings.